Marcel Callo was devoted to charitable works and served his community through Catholic organizations. He died at the age of 23 in a concentration camp. He was born in France in 1921. As a child, he was known as a perfectionist and a leader. He had a good sense of humor and he liked to play ping pong and cards. He served as an altar boy and became a scout when he was 10. When he was 13, he became an apprentice in a printing store. He disliked the sinful habits of his coworkers and often tried to avoid spending time with them. He joined the Young Christian Workers, or JOC, in 1935. The association was a lay missionary club focused on providing religious instruction and constructive activities for working-class people. Through the JOC, he realized that separating himself from his coworkers wouldn't help bring them to Christ. He decided to focus more on evangelizing them instead. In his discussions with others, he could sometimes be stubborn or hot-headed. He said, "We are often poor instruments in the hands of God because we have bad habits, bad inclinations. Every day I must be a little more conformed to Christ." He fell in love with a fellow JOC member named Marguerite, and they were engaged to be married. They agreed to say the same prayers daily and attend Mass and receive the Eucharist frequently. When the Germans occupied France during the Second World War, they banned the Young Christian Workers, or JOC. They had to continue their activities in secret. In 1943, Marcel was conscripted to serve in an airplane factory in Germany. He thought about fleeing, but he knew that his relatives might be punished if he did. He reluctantly agreed to serve, but he said he was doing so as a missionary. His life in Germany was hard. He worked for 10 hours a day. He wrote to his fiancée saying, "The 2 months after my arrival were extremely hard and painful. I no longer had a taste for anything. I was numb. I felt myself going little by little. Suddenly, Christ snapped me out of it. He told me to take care of my comrades, and my enjoyment of life returned." To take care of his comrades, he organized sports activities and musical events to keep their spirits up. He encouraged them to pray and to attend a small secret mass he had discovered. He coordinated with other clandestine missionaries such as John Tuturier, a Jesuit seminarian who would later die in the same camp as Marcel just 3 days before him. The German police had been monitoring Marcel and his associates for a while. Marcel was arrested in April 1944 and told that he was being taken to prison for being too much of a Catholic. He was imprisoned with 11 friends, including 2 priests. In a letter from prison, he wrote that he felt like Jesus was there with him too, saying, "Happily, there is a friend who does not leave me for a single moment, and who knows how to support me through the painful and crushing hours. With him, one can endure anything. How I thank Christ for having laid out the path that I am following right now. What great days to offer him." Marcel and his friends were sentenced to deportation and sent to concentration camps. In the camp, Marcel was subject to forced labor and often beaten. His glasses were stolen and he had to work blindly. He contracted tuberculosis and dysentery and developed painful skin infections. Experiencing intense pain, he had to be transferred to the infirmary. He was transported there by an imprisoned French colonel who later said, "He had only one look, a look that was seeing something else, and that expressed a profound conviction that he was leaving for happiness. It was an act of faith and hope in a better life. Never have I seen on another dying man, and I have seen thousands, a look like this. He had the look of a saint. It was a revelation for me." He died of his ailments on March 19, 1945, and was buried in a mass grave. He was beatified in 1987. His feast day is March 19th. Some of the men with whom he was arrested are included in the group of 50 martyrs who will be beatified by Pope Leo later this month. Pope John Paul II said, "Marcel did not immediately attain evangelical perfection. Rich in qualities and goodwill, he long struggled against the temptations of the world, against himself, against the burdens of things and people. But, fully open to grace, he gradually allowed himself to be led by the Lord, even to martyrdom.